"You don't belong here, Clarke," Arthur Sterling snarled, his voice a venomous whisper. He stood amidst the scorched remnants of rare desert blossoms and the glitching sky projection canopy meant to display galaxies over Jamison Clarke's wedding at Oasis Mirage. Jamison, a black tech visionary, was marrying Eleanor Sterling, an heiress from an old money dynasty. Arthur, Eleanor's father, was determined to extinguish this union and Jamison's audacity. Will Jamison crumble under their scorn, or will he turn their malice into his greatest innovation? Stick around for a tale of defiance that'll leave you speechless. We'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. Drop it in the comments, hit the subscribe button and bell icon to stay up to date with our latest stories, and share this video. Can Jamison outsmart his foes? Stay tuned to find out. The sun blazed over Oasis Mirage, Jamison Clarke's private desert sanctuary, a testament to his genius. Jamison, a black tech titan, had transformed arid land into a thriving ecosystem using groundbreaking climate control and holographic projection technology. His vision for sustainable living pulsed through every biodome and shimmering pool. Here, amidst rare desert blooms and the promise of endless stars, Jamison and Eleanor Sterling, a white heiress whose hazel eyes reflected genuine affection, found their haven. Their wedding was to be the ultimate fusion of love and innovation, a celebration of two worlds merging under a projected cosmos. Jamison, whose journey began in a modest community known for its innovation hubs, had always seen potential where others saw desolation. His company, Viridian Tech, was globally renowned for its eco-inventions, and Oasis Mirage was his crowning jewel, a self-sufficient city in the sands, generating its own power and water. Eleanor, having escaped the gilded cage of her family's expectations, found liberation in Jamison's bold vision and genuine spirit. Yet, beneath the calm, Arthur Sterling, Eleanor's father, simmered with disdain, clinging to a fading legacy and a family lucky charm, a supposedly ancient, priceless artifact. He believed Jamison's new money would somehow tarnish, diminishing his lineage. Arthur, a patriarch steeped in tradition and the head of Sterling Global, a dying industrial conglomerate, saw Jamison's new money and self-made success as an affront to his family's century-old prestige. He believed true power came from inherited wealth and unquestioning lineage. At the rehearsal dinner, amidst glittering crystal and the soft hum of cooling systems, Arthur's veiled insults about Jamison's lack of heritage and unconventional tastes cut through the air. Blake Donovan, Eleanor's slick, white ex-boyfriend and a rival tech developer whose own attempts to create sustainable tech had consistently failed, now hovered like a vulture. His smiles were too perfect, hiding a bitter jealousy fueled by Jamison's successful acquisition of several key patents Blake had coveted. Blake had unsuccessfully tried to acquire Jamison's company twice, seeing Oasis Mirage as his personal trophy. Eleanor's brother Frederick, a sycophantic junior executive at Sterling Global, and sister, Beatrice, a socialite utterly dependent on their father's approval, echoed Arthur's subtle scorn. Frederick, in particular, believed Jamison's very presence threatened his place as Arthur's heir apparent. Jamison remained composed, a quiet strength radiating from him, while Eleanor, a fierce silent shield, met her family's prejudice with a stony gaze. As plates of spiced lamb and exotic fruits passed, the Sterling family's barbs continued, growing sharper. Arthur mused loudly about the fragility of modern tech, implying Jamison's oasis was built on sand. "True power, young man," he declared, "comes from deep roots, not fleeting trends." Blake, with a calculated charm, subtly questioned Jamison's true intentions, hinting that he was exploiting Eleanor's affections for access to Sterling Global's vast, albeit outdated, resources. Beatrice made condescending remarks about Jamison's modest upbringing, while Frederick openly scoffed at his experimental architecture. Each jab was designed to probe for weakness, to rattle Jamison's composure, but he deflected with cool confidence, a quiet amusement playing on his lips. Eleanor's grip on his hand beneath the table became a constant, firm affirmation. Jamison observed everything, a subtle flicker in his eyes hinting at a deeper game. He wasn't just defending himself. He was gathering data, meticulously analyzing their patterns, like a grandmaster studying an opponent's opening moves. He even noticed a brief, furtive exchange between Blake and Frederick in a shadowed corner. A quick, almost imperceptible nod. Midnight shattered the oasis's tranquility. A piercing scream tore through Jamison's suite, a sound that instantly sobered the drowsy silence of the desert night. Ben Carter, his best man, and a longtime friend from his early tech days, burst in, his face ashen, voice trembling. Jamison, the oasis, it's ruined. Jamison's bare feet hit the cool, polished permacrete floor as he raced after Ben. They found the ceremonial garden, a sanctuary of custom desert floral arrangements, utterly devastated. The rare blooms, sustained by Jamison's intricate climate control systems, now lay wilted, blackened, and emitting a sickening, acrid odor. The magnificent sky projection canopy, meant to cast constellations in crystal clarity, flickered erratically, displaying distorted, hellish images of jagged lightning and menacing shadows, plunging the area into a terrifying, unnatural gloom. Arthur Sterling emerged from the newly formed shadows, his silk robe billowing, his voice a chilling sneer that cut deeper than the ruin itself. "A bad omen, Jamison. Perhaps this union isn't meant to be. You don't belong here. This oasis isn't for you." His words dripped with a satisfaction that spoke volumes. Eleanor, her face pale with shock and fury, immediately confronted her father. "Father, how could you?" she choked out, stepping protectively in front of Jamison. Blake Donovan, feigning concern, appeared beside Arthur, subtly offering help, his eyes darting to the bewildered staff, attempting to subtly implicate them. But Jamison, his mind a steel trap, even in the face of devastation, wasn't fooled. He noticed a distinct, expensive cyber fragrance, Blake's signature, artificially enhanced scent, lingering in the air near the wilted flowers. And then he saw it, a peculiar damaged drone part, a specialized component he recognized as belonging to a high-end, discreet sabotage unit, partially buried in the blackened soil. The pieces began to click into place, connecting to his oasis's environmental sensors and the network of hidden surveillance drones he had deployed for security, now subtly compromised. This wasn't just vandalism. This was a calculated, personal attack. Jamison, a tech titan by instinct and trade, retreated to a hidden control room deep within the oasis's core. The room, bathed in the soft glow of holographic displays, was his sanctuary of logic and power. His fingers danced across a holographic interface, a whirlwind of swift, precise movements. He accessed archived sensor data from the very moment of the attack, tracing the chemical composition of the substance used on the flowers. Simultaneously, he bypassed compromised protocols to pull discrete drone footage from before, during, and immediately after the sabotage. The truth materialized with chilling clarity on the large central display. Blake Donovan, with Frederick Sterling acting as his unwitting accomplice, was caught red-handed. The footage showed Blake cloaked in shadow, spraying a highly concentrated, fast-acting desiccant on the precious desert flora, then methodically overriding the climate control system. Frederick, meanwhile, fumbled with a small, specialized drone, attempting to disable the sky projection canopy's primary power conduit, the very damaged drone component Jamison had found. Frederick's nervous glances and Blake's cold, efficient movements were undeniable proof. Jamison's anger, though burning cold and sharp, was now focused into an unshakable resolve. He immediately contacted his network of tech and logistics allies across the globe, a vast web of brilliant minds and resourceful operators who owed him favors and respected his genius. "I need a miracle," he stated, his voice calm but commanding, each word echoing with quiet authority. "Full restoration of Oasis Mirage, enhanced and impenetrable by dawn. And I need a surprise for our guests." His primary contact, Anya Sharma, head of a cutting-edge bioengineering firm, confirmed immediate dispatch of genetically optimized flora. Liam O'Connell, a logistics wizard, guaranteed specialized holographic components via high-speed hovercrafts by sunrise. Within hours, the desert winds carried the faint hum of arriving air transports, unheard by the sleeping Sterlings, but a symphony of vindication to Jamison. The wedding day dawned, the Oasis Mirage more breathtaking, vibrant, and impenetrable than ever. Jamison's network had worked miracles, subtly and efficiently. The new desert blooms radiated colors so vivid they seemed to hum, their resilience a defiant answer to the previous night's destruction. The sky projection canopy, now fortified and running on an independent encrypted network, displayed a celestial ballet of unparalleled beauty, constellations swirling in impossible clarity, a cosmic embrace. Arthur and his family watched from their front row seats, their faces a mixture of disbelief and growing unease. They had expected a pathetic attempt at recovery, not this stunning, almost defiant perfection. As Eleanor, radiant in a gown woven with bioluminescent threads, walked down the aisle, her hazel eyes locked with Jamison's, her love a palpable force. They exchanged vows, Eleanor's words speaking of enduring love and a future built on truth, his of seeing beyond illusions and building a world free of prejudice. "I choose your innovation, Jamison," Eleanor whispered. "Your light that breaks through the oldest shadows." Jamison's reply was a quiet roar. "And I choose your spirit, Eleanor, to build a future where every individual belongs." At the reception, amidst the renewed splendor, Arthur, attempting a forced toast to unity, was cut short. Suddenly, the Oasis's massive central display, previously showing innocuous couples' photos, flickered to life. On screen, crystal-clear surveillance footage played. Blake Donovan, his face contorted in frustrated malice, spraying the desiccant on the flowers, then Frederick Sterling, clumsily attempting to install a faulty component into the projection system moments before the sky projection canopy went haywire. The timestamps, GPS coordinates, and even the unique cyber fragrance signature detected by Jamison's sensors were all overlaid. Gasps rippled through the elite crowd. Hushed murmurs erupted into a wave of shocked whispers. Arthur's face flushed crimson, his jaw clenching as he stared at his son's and Blake's undeniable guilt. Beatrice looked horrified while Frederick visibly cringed, his attempts to disappear into the crowd futile. Before the silence could fully settle, broken only by the rising hum of the crowd, Jamison projected new images onto the massive display. A 3D rendering of the Sterling family's cherished Lucky Charm artifact, a small, ornate obsidian statue that Arthur frequently boasted about as proof of his lineage's ancient power. "This," Jamison announced, his voice clear and commanding, gesturing to the screen, "is a meticulously crafted replica." The camera then shifted to an image of the real artifact, distinguishable by a microscopic inscription only visible under UV light. Jamison explained that he had acquired the genuine artifact years ago from a remote dig site for a historical preservation project, unaware of its later connection to the Sterlings. He explained that a careful analysis confirmed its true origin was not with the Sterling family's purported lineage, but an entirely different ancient civilization, one that valued merit over inherited status. He then revealed his plans to donate the authentic artifact to a global museum, complete with an interactive exhibit detailing its true history, forever shattering Arthur's perceived legacy and the myth of his family's inherent superiority. A collective gasp, followed by murmurs of unbelievable, echoed through the room. Later, as the Sterlings attempted their departure, Marcus, the hovercraft pilot, and Jamal, the local guide, both of whom had personally endured the Sterlings' casual dismissals, offered them a special transport. Their luxury hovercraft was conveniently unavailable due to a minor system glitch. Instead, they were directed to a repurposed, bone-jarring, dust-filled desert buggy. Jamal, with a mischievous glint in his eye, strategically guided the buggy through the most inconvenient, bumpy routes, ensuring every jolt emphasized their humiliation. Arthur, Claire, Frederick, and Beatrice endured a ride that left them thoroughly disheveled, covered in fine red dust, and utterly, publicly humiliated, arriving at the mainland hub, looking like they'd crawled out of a sandstorm. The public humiliation, amplified by viral videos of the sabotage reveal, the artifact exposure, and the dusty buggy ride, exploded into global headlines. Tech Titan exposes elite prejudice and fake heritage, blared one prominent news outlet. Another declared Oasis Mirage, a reckoning for old money. The sheer volume of negative publicity, coupled with a plummeting stock for Sterling Global and calls for Arthur's resignation from various boards, forced the Sterling's hand. Days later, in a lavish Chicago ballroom, under the relentless gaze of media cameras and a curious society, Arthur delivered a strained, almost broken public apology. He acknowledged his deeply regrettable prejudice and the errors in judgment of his family. Blake, his composure fractured beyond repair, muttered a barely audible admission of his jealousy and professional malice. Jamison, poised and radiant beside Eleanor, addressed the room. His cobalt suit seemed to absorb the light, making his presence even more commanding. "Your words mean more than you know," he stated, his voice clear and resonant, cutting through the hushed silence. "Not because they erase the past, the damage inflicted, the insults endured by myself, by Eleanor, by the dedicated staff like Marcus and Jamal, cannot simply vanish. But your words mark a choice to confront your flaws, a choice to begin rebuilding." He paused, his gaze sweeping from the visibly uncomfortable Sterlings to the expectant faces of the audience. "I forgive you," he said, the words ringing with a power that transcended simple absolution. "Not for your sake, but for mine. I will not carry your burden of hate or prejudice. And I forgive you for Marcus, for Jamal, and for every individual you've diminished, because they deserve a world where apologies aren't constantly needed. But hear this, forgiveness isn't absolution. It is an opportunity. Live differently. Prove your words with actions, not just for me, but for everyone you've overlooked, for every legacy you've tried to suppress." The ballroom erupted in thunderous applause, a wave of admiration and respect for Jamison's profound grace. Jamison and Eleanor, hand in hand, departed for their honeymoon, their bond strengthened by adversity, their future boundless, not just as a couple, but as a power couple dedicated to a more equitable world. Jamison Clarke's story shines a light on how true innovation and unwavering integrity triumph over ancient prejudices and superficial legacies. His journey from visionary to vindicated hero offers a powerful lesson in resilience and the quiet strength of truth. What do you think of Jamison's brilliant countermoves and his ultimate act of forgiveness? Share your thoughts below and let us know where you're listening from. Your support fuels our passion for storytelling, so please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to catch our next unforgettable tale. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep shining, and we'll see you.